Okay, good morning, everybody. Minor technical difficulties this morning. Goodness gracious. If I didn't know any better, I would think it was Monday today. Funny how that works, right? Anyhow, hope everybody's off to a good start this morning. I'm trying to get the camera set up here and get ready to work on this beautiful blanket we've got going. So, sorry, folks over on YouTube this morning. I was having some technical difficulties with the TikTok. I'm live this morning on both, and uh, for those that are over on TikTok, can you hear me? Okay. Hopefully that part is working. I don't know. Sometimes the mic doesn't want to sync up when I'm over on YouTube. It presents some challenges, but hey, that's all right. We're about ready to go here this morning. All right, Anvil said we're good. So this morning, I'm very excited to be back working on the Hugs and Kisses Christmas blanket. This is a chevron blanket. So what chevron is it goes up and down like mountains, and this is a lot of fun to work on. We started this on the live. Oh, I don't know. I guess I've been working on this a couple weeks now, but this is going to be a lap blanket for in my living room for Christmas. So we started with the red, and then we added the white, and now we're up to the green. So this yarn I'm using today is called Caron Simply Soft. Oh, thank you, Gen X. I really appreciate that. I was really struggling this morning to get the YouTube going, and then TikTok gave me a hard time. So it's all around. I've had some challenges this morning, but hey, adapt and overcome, right? So anyhow, this yarn I'm using today is Caron Simply Soft. It's really beautiful yarn. This color here is called Harvest Red, and then there's white, and then this green color is Dark Sage. And that's the color that we're working with today. And I'm just going to be repeating these three colors. So when I get done with the green section, the green section will end up looking just like this white here. And then once I get done with that, then I will do more white, and then I'll do red, and I'll just keep repeating that up until I get the blanket to the length that I want it to be. I want to be able to cover my, yeah. This green, Sarah, is not the garlic green. It's not the Caron Simply Soft that's smelling like garlic. But I tell you guys, my whole living room smells like garlic from this other yarn I'm using. This yarn right here, I'm working on a different blanket, and for whatever reason, this green color, it smells like garlic, and it came brand new. It was in the package. I ordered it online, and man, it is just stinking. And every time I sit here in my chair, it just smells like garlic. So yeah, it's been really challenging. But anyhow, this pattern I'm working on today is by Mikey over at the Crochet Crowd. It was actually designed by Jeannie. And Jeannie, for those that don't know, Jeannie was his assistant for a number of years, and I believe they're still good friends. But she has retired. And this was her pattern. There's a great tutorial for this over on YouTube, and there's links on the link tree. Now, I did a diagram. I printed out a diagram of this. You guys know I love my little diagrams. Hopefully, you all are getting a little more warmed up to diagrams as we've been talking about them more. I got to find it here. I was not very prepared this morning. Sorry. Like I said, you would think it was a Monday over here in Alabama. Lordy, it feels like a Monday, I'll tell you. Oh, here it is. Here's my diagram. Okay. Whew. Can we just start crocheting already? Anyhow, this is called the Hugs and Kisses Chevron blanket. And this is a free pattern by the Crochet Crowd. And basically, I'm going to show you guys how to read this diagram. Macy said, I'm obsessed with diagrams now, so thank you. Yeah, I know diagrams can be a little intimidating. You look at this and it's like, oh Lord, am I back in math? am I back in physics and whatever those equations are and all that? But let me tell you guys, it is not as overwhelming as you might think it is. And where I'm at right now on this pattern with the green, I have to figure it out here. But if we look at our stitches, we had a row of single crochet here, then we had double crochet, then single crochet. Here's our crisscrosses, and then you can see I'm coming back around with the single crochet. So if we look at our diagram, here was, this is where it repeats at. So we have our single crochets. Here's our crisscross double crochet. So I'm right here on this little row here. So you can see next we have this little puff ball here. And if we come up here to our legend, this is the bobble stitch. So let me finish up these single crochets and then we'll talk about this row of puff stitches. Let's see, Queen said, I'm getting better, but I can read patterns. Joy says, I prefer charts. Macy said, let's see, the visual is so much better, nicer and faster. Yeah, I read patterns. I don't know if I'm able to say this. Hopefully, it won't fly. Charlie Brown, how there's the teacher, and she's like, wah, 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 wah. When I look at a pattern and I read all that text, it's like to me, what I see and feel is wah, 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 wah. When I look at a diagram, I don't have that reaction. So that's why I like the diagrams. I can see them quick. I can identify what I need to do. I don't have to read through 5 pounds of paperwork and feel like I'm in English class again, trying to digest whatever it is the author is trying to communicate. And so for me, I love the diagrams a lot better. And it's allowed me to basically work on some patterns that I have not been able to work on in the past because I can't really read all that wah, 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 and understand what it is they're talking about. I've not tried the patterns or charts yet. I watch the video and do what I'm told. There you go. I'm one of those students also. Okay, so I just put in the last little single crochet here. So if we look at our diagram, this is the row we're on right here. And you can see we have 2 little circles to begin with. Those 2 little circles, if we come up here to our legend, they say we're going to chain. So this tells us we're going to chain 2. Then you can see there's a little T here, and it doesn't have a hatch mark on it. Some of them have hatch marks. This one does not. You come up here, that is a half double crochet. So that tells us into this corner stitch right here, see how it's lined up with this? We're going to put 2 chains, a chain of 2, then we're going to do a half double crochet. Then we're going to move to the next stitch and we're going to put one of these little basketballs. These little basketballs, we come up here to our legend, is a bobble stitch, which is 5 double crochets. They've laid it out for us. Then we're going to do into the next 2 stitches, half double, another basketball, half double. Now here we're back down in the valley and you can see there's 1, 2, 3. We're going to put this little teepee thing here and that is a half double crochet together, 3 half doubles, and that becomes our valley. So on this little short side, we're going to have 2 bobbles. Then as we go up the mountain, we're going to alternate. The first one, we're going to do a half double. Then we're going to do the the bobble. Then we're going to do the next 2 stitches, half doubles, and continue on like that till we get to the top of the mountain. Here you can see this is the mountain from the row below. The first stitch of that grouping of 3 will be a half double. In the middle here, that's where we're going to put our 3 new half doubles. That becomes a new top of the mountain. And we're going to continue that on. So let's turn our work here. So it told us we're going to chain 2. I chain 2. Now I turn my work. Now, sorry, we're getting some mass kind of here with this blanket. And it told us into this first stitch here, we need another half double. So we're going to pop that in, half double crochet. Now into this next stitch, we need a bobble stitch. And it said there was 5 double crochets. So I'll go into how to make a bobble stitch as we get a little farther along and I'm not so close to the corner. It'll make it so there's more for me to grip onto and explain it. So into this first stitch here, we're going to do a double crochet, but we're not going to finish it. We're going to yarn over and go through 2. Now we just hold. That's our first one. We need a total of 4 of these. So here's the next one, number 2, 3. Like I said, I'll slow this down a little bit when we get a little farther along for those that don't know how to make bobble stitches. They're really easy, but let me just move away from this edge. Now I have all 5. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them. So there's our bobble stitch. Now into the next stitch here, we need a half double. And the reason we do half doubles with bobbles is when you put them all together like this, even though you're working with double crochets, it makes them get shorter. It kind of squishes them down. So the half double is a nice complementary stitch to a bobble stitch. So there's another half double. Now here we need a bobble stitch. So again, we're going to do the double crochets, but not finished. We need a total of 5 of these. Okay, and here is number 5. So now I kind of hold my thumb here and I pull through all of them. Now we're almost to the valley. So you can see here, here's our little valley stitch. But the first thing we need after a bobble is this half double. Now we've got to put 3 half doubles together. And let me do something here and count. So that's my mountain. So I have 1, 2, bobble, 1, 2, bobble, 1, 2, bobble, 1, 2, bobble, 1. Sometimes my counts get a little off right here. So I'm going to do 3 together. So we do a half double, but we don't finish it. Then we go into the next one, half double, don't finish, and into the next one, half double, don't finish. Now after we get 3, we pull through all of them together. Now we need a half double, and now we're going to start our bobble stitches. So when we put these 3 together, it kind of makes it go down into the valley. And like I said, let me just keep moving away from this edge and then we'll talk more about each one of these in depth. But here we need a bobble. So we're going to start like we're doing 5 double crochets, but we're not going to be finishing this. So there's number 3. Here's 4 and 5. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them. Now here we need another half double. We need 2 half doubles in between these. You always want to be sure and put half doubles in between your bobbles because that's what helps set them apart for the texture. As soon as I get a couple more here, we'll turn it and look at the other side. When you're working with bobble stitches, the texture actually goes out the back. So let's do a couple more of these and then we'll turn it over so you guys can see how that texture is forming. So here we go, another bobble stitch. We have a full row of these to work, so there'll be plenty of bobbles to look at as we move along. Okay, well, I couldn't figure out how to do half doubles together. Yeah, Queen, I'll slow this down and explain a little more. And when we get to the next valley, there'll be more room for me to kind of show it. But it's pretty easy actually. I look at those sometimes, those little stitches, or I read the pattern. It's like, huh? You want me to do what? And then I watch a video or watch somebody like me explain it, and I'm like, oh, you guys remember those Staples buttons that were years ago that was easy button? I feel like sometimes I need one of those. The little light goes on and it was like, well, I made that way more complicated in my mind than it actually is. Um, so it's kind of nice when you get that aha moment. I love getting one of those. Or when I love it when a plan comes together, right? Okay, so here's our little bobble. Now we're coming up to the top of the mountain here, and these are our 3 stitches here, 1, 2, and 3. And we need to put the I kind of messed this up. I shouldn't have moved over, but okay. So here's the very top stitch. Now the top stitch, we remembered we had to put 3 half doubles. And before that, we need 1 half double, but I have 2 stitches here. So that's okay. I don't stress, and I'm not going to rip all this back out. All I'm going to do is just skip this one, go into this next one, and do my half double. When I do that, it's going to squish it up and nobody will be the wiser. Okay, now here we are on the top of the mountain and we need 3 half doubles into this stitch. So if you're not familiar with how to do a half double, what you do is you yarn over and then you look, this is the top of the stitch. Now, because we're turning our work, it's kind of from the back, so you sometimes have to turn this forward. But then you can kind of see those 2 little bars on the top of the stitch. We're going to go under both bars. So I yarn over, put my hook under those 2 bars. You can kind of see them there. Then I grab a loop and pull it up, and then I yarn over and I pull through all 3. That is a half double. And the pattern said we need to do, yes, thank you, Anvil. Anvil knows more about this pattern than I do, I'll tell you guys. What would we do without Anvil helping us with our moderation? And Gen X helps too. Um, okay, now here we need another half double. So same thing, I yarn over. This is the top of the mountain. I need a total of 3 of these. Yarn over and pull through all 3. So that is the new peak of our mountain. Okay. Let me flip my work here and get lined up. So now we're ready to go back down the mountain. And you can see here, this is our first stitch. We need a half double. Okay, now we're ready for a bobble stitch into this next one. So let's go over how to make a bobble stitch. So into this first stitch here, we're going to make like we're doing double crochets. So we yarn over, go into the first stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now instead of finishing this double crochet, we just hold. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. So this is number 1. Now again, I yarn over, right back down into that exact space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and again hold. Here's number 3, yarn over into that space, grab a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and again hold. That's number 3. Here's number 4. And then we need one more, number 5. So yarn over. This gets kind of full, but that's okay. Just work your hook in there, grab up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2, hold. So now we have the original loop on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our 5 stitches. You can, if you get confused of where you're at, you can count them down here below as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you have all 5, now we need to yarn over and pull through all of these. What I found for me is I put my middle finger on the back and kind of hold it, and I put my thumb here and kind of hold it. I don't want these to kind of move around. So you don't have to do it this way, but this is what I found kind of works for me. Yarn over, and now I pull through all of those stitches, and it makes them squish up like that. The texture when you're doing a bobble stitch, you're not going to see it facing you, you're going to see it on the back. So now we're going to yarn over, and we need a half double into the next stitch. Yarn over, half double into the next stitch. Okay, now we're going to again do the bobble stitch. So here we go into this one, same thing, like we're going to do 5 double crochets. Yarn over, right into that space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now don't finish, just hold. Yarn over, right back down in, grab up a loop. Here's number 2, yarn over, holding. Number 3, grab up that loop, pull through 2, again holding. Yarn over, right back down into this space, grab up a loop, pull through 2, hold. And here's number 5. 5 gets a little full, that's all right, you can make it work. Yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our original loop on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, total of 6. Now again, I kind of hold my thumb here, yarn over, and pull through all 6 of those stitches. There's another bobble. Now we need a half double. In between these, we need 2 half doubles. Yarn over, right back down into that new stitch, grab up a loop. When you have 3, yarn over, pull through all. There's your half double. Now we're ready for a bobble again. Into this next stitch, yarn over, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Remember, don't finish, just holding. Here's number 2, pull through 2, holding. Number 3. Bobble stitches are a yarn eater for sure, but they make it so beautiful. It's totally worth it. Totally, totally worth it. Pull through 2. So there we have our original loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 total. Yarn over, pull through all 3. So there's our third little bobble. 1, 2, 3. We need 4. So we have to do another half double crochet here. Another half double. Now we're ready for our 4th bobble stitch. So into this, here we go. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, holding. Yarn over, pull through 2, holding. Number 3. Number 4. And here's number 5. Count if you're first learning these, give yourself a count. Here's the original, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through all 6. Now into the next, we need a half double crochet. And now you can see we're back down to the bottom of the mountain. So this is our valley. So these 3 stitches right here, we need to put together with a half double crochet. This is very easy. You think it's more difficult than it is, but all we're going to do is yarn over, go down into the first stitch, grab up a loop, don't finish, just hold it. Yarn over into the next stitch, grab up a loop, again, just holding, don't finish. And here's number 3, yarn over into that next stitch, grab up a loop. So now we have 1, 2, and 3. Now we yarn over and pull through all of those together. That is 3 together, half double crochets. So it squishes them up, and when you squish it up like that, it forms this little valley. So we have our 2 mountains, and now we have our little valley finished. I'm going to go ahead and put our next half double in here just to kind of cinch this up a little tighter. Now let's turn our work. I don't want this to come out. And look at our little bobbles that we made. Here's the magic. So there they are. See how they're a fun little texture? Cute little bobbles. Here's where we first started. So we have the 2 from the little short side. Now here's our 4 little on the side, and here's another 4. Super cute, fun texture. This pattern, guys, for those that are just hopping on, this pattern is called the Hugs and Kisses Chevron Blanket, and this is a free pattern it was designed by Jeannie, who is Mikey's assistant at the Crochet Crowd. Now, she has since retired. Of course, she's still making patterns, but she's not actually working for the Crochet Crowd. And this is a very famous pattern. A lot of people have made it. It was originally designed as a baby blanket, okay? And I've made this baby blanket a number of times. It works up beautifully. But I was thinking, when we start heading into fall, I really start thinking about the holidays, and have never had a Christmas blanket for my living room. And I thought, that Hugs and Kisses blanket, the chevron, I think that would be really pretty as a Christmas blanket. And so that's kind of where this came about for me. Just because a pattern is designed as a baby blanket it doesn't mean you have to use it. A pattern is a pattern. A lot of what makes the blanket or the project, you guys have experienced this, it's the type of yarn that you use, right? It changes the whole mood of the project, the look of the project, right? If I was to make this in fun, festive 70s tie-dye kind of colors, right? Fluorescents and hot pinks. It could be a total retro blanket for a teenager's room, right? It still would be a really fun pattern, right? With all the texture. And so as you're looking, sometimes I get inspired by a pattern, but other times I get inspired by yarn. Right. So if I'm looking and maybe I have, like, if we go back to the 70s, like retro, right? I might get really excited about fluorescent yarn and then I pick a pattern for that yarn. And I don't necessarily use the pattern as the designer intended it. And, call the crochet police. It doesn't matter. There's nobody going to say that's wrong or, part of crocheting is not just the pattern, but it's the yarn, the texture, right? The whole thing that goes along with it. You, as the yarn artist, uh, you're the one that drives that. You're the one that drives that feeling. And sometimes I get inspired by who I'm making something for, right? It's like I want to put their personality or something that would attract them or feel they could feel that, right? So there's a number of things, but this pattern is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, it just called to me to make a Christmas blanket with it. So that's what we're doing. So there are links on the link tree. I saw some new followers popping up. For those that do not know me, my name is April. I'm a hobby crocheter. I have a real job. I just come on here in the mornings and I talk crochet and kind of show the different patterns that I'm doing. And we'll talk more about these stitches as I move along again. But let's just do a little housekeeping, get you guys all up to speed for all the new folks. So I am streaming live this morning, both on TikTok and over on YouTube. Thank you, everybody who is tapping their screen and sending those little hearts flying up this screen this morning. Hey, Janny, good morning. Kristen Sue said, I am watching and listening at work. There you go. Is Mama Wheeler on here? I see Amanda Nitz. Good morning, Amanda. So anyhow, thank you guys all for tapping your screens. We have 4.8 thousand likes over on TikTok. If you're watching over on YouTube, I would love it if you could give me a little thumbs up this morning. That certainly would help me. I'm very new to being live over on YouTube, but it is nice because I can then release the video and you guys can go back and watch this if you have a question or anything like that. So it's pretty cool. But I am new to going live on YouTube. Now, I normally live stream my bird feeders. I've been doing that for a long time on YouTube, but my camera it broke. I have a new one on order. So, anyhow, and for those that don't know, uh, over on TikTok, if you're a new follower, Mama Wheeler is my mom. I'm in Alabama. She's down in Florida this morning, and she chimes in to uh, chat with all you guys and see me do some crocheting. I learned to crochet from my mom and my grandma. So it's pretty cool that we get to spend the mornings together with all of you friends. So it's pretty cool. But the colors that I'm using this morning, this is Caron Simply Soft. This is Harvest Red, White, and Dark Sage. And there are links for this yarn on my link tree. Now, I did notice, man, Joanne, they've been putting out the sales. And I went on their site the other day and I swear every single product was sold out. Have you guys seen that? It I was really surprised, but I figure it's because of all the deals that they're putting out right now. I swear everybody's putting out deals. So anyhow, I'm supposed to get a new shipment today from Joanne. I ordered some Red Heart jumbos. They were so economical. I couldn't help myself. I know I don't need more yarn, but sometimes those main staples, those big ones, especially for my donation blankets, are really really handy. Okay, so this pattern that we're working on, like I said, is the Hugs and Kisses chevron blanket, and it goes up and down like this. It's a little harder to see as I'm working along. We're getting a little wider on the blanket, but this is the diagram of what we're doing. And we're right here on this row of bobble stitches. So I'm down here in the valley right now, and I'm gonna work my way up this mountain, and we'll talk about how to do these bobble stitches. And here we are in the valley, so let's talk about how to do the valley stitch. So you can see this is the row below where we put our 3 stitches together. Now what we need to do is we need to put 3 half double crochets together. And it looks a little more complicated than it is, but all you do to put 3 together, very easy. Yarn over, go down into that first stitch. I'm under both bars here. I grab up a loop. Now instead of finishing that half double crochet, I just hold. Now I need to go to the next one. I yarn over, go down into that stitch, grab up a loop, again holding. Here's the third stitch, yarn over, right into that stitch, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, and I'm going to yarn over and go through all of those yarns and squish them together. When you squish them together like that, that is what forms your little valley. Now the first stitch out, we need a half double crochet. And now we're going to make some more bobble stitches, okay? Uh, the bobble stitch that for the diagram, it looks like this little basketball looking thing. You can come up here to your legend and it says bobble, and in this case, Mikey told us it's 5 double crochets. So the way we're going to do this bobble is into this stitch. I'm going to make like I'm doing a double crochet. I yarn over, I go into that stitch, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2. Now to finish a double crochet, I would yarn over and pull through 2 again. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to hold this. Don't finish it. Now we're going to do another one. Yarn over, right back down into that exact same space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, holding. Don't finish. Now here's number 3, same exact thing. You're just going to repeat this. Pull through 2, holding. There you can see 1, 2, 3. Here's number 4. Pull through 2. And here's number 5. This is the last one. Again, pull through just 2. So now if we recap, we have our original starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count them on the row below as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we have to do is yarn over and pull through all of these loops. And what I found works easiest for me is if I take my holding finger, my middle finger, and I put it on the back right here. And then I put my thumb here and I just kind of gently hold this. This keeps these stitches stabilized from wiggling around. And then I yarn over and I pull through all of those. Now you don't have to do that, but I just found that it does add a little stability to that group of stitches as I'm trying to work my hook through. Now into this next stitch, we need a half double crochet. Pull through all 3. Into the next stitch, another half double crochet. So when you do these half stitches in between, that's what's helping to provide this little stitch definition between these bobbles. If you just did bobble, 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 you would not have any space in between and it would not allow these to really show off, right? You want them to show off, and that's why we're doing those half doubles in between. Okay, so we did 2. Now we're going to again do the bobble stitch. So let's do another one. Yarn over right into that stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2. Hey, Mama Wheeler over on TikTok. I gifted you a subscriber membership, so you should be able to send stickers now. I don't know if you want to give it a try. Maybe you guys could help Mama Wheeler, but she should be able to do some stickers. I had to gift my mom a membership, guys, just because, she's my mom. uh, hopefully she can find a sticker. Maybe she already found them. I'm not sure. My mom's pretty savvy for being in her 70s. I'm always bragging on my mom. I'm so impressed that here she is chatting it up on the TikTok. I swear mom has more followers now than I do. She's like the star of the show at this point. Okay, so here we are back doing bobble stitches. So here's our first one. Yarn over and then pull up a loop. Anvil, can you explain to my mom how to do a sticker on the, like how to say good morning with a sticker or something? Anvil's like a whiz at it. If you're a subscriber over on TikTok, you get some little custom icons to make it more fun. We have 130 people watching over on TikTok this morning. Looks like we've got a few people over on YouTube as well. But good morning, everybody. Glad you're here. I'm kind of spoiled. Oh, I wish there was a diagram for the round hugs and kisses. Are you sure there's not, Macy? There might be. I don't know. I'm thinking there. I think there is a diagram. There she is. Look, Mama Wheeler used the heart eyes. My mom is so talented. There you go. Round of applause for Mama Wheeler. Getting it done down in Florida. I'm so lucky, you guys. I'm trying to find it, but I can't seem to. I'll keep looking. Macy, look on my link tree because I swear I have the pattern linked on that. You might have to scroll down for a while. But I definitely have the written pattern for that. Okay, sorry, I've been yakking and not talking. I'll have to tell you guys about these stitches on the downhill slope. So here we are at the very top. I just did the last bobble. When you're going up the hill, we need 4 bobbles. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. After you finish the last bobble, we need a half double crochet into that first stitch of the top of the mountain. So that was the top of the mountain. Here's the very tippy top, the center. So now we're going to yarn over, go down into this stitch. We need 3 half doubles at the top of the mountain. Now these are not together. So we finish the one. Now we do another. And now we do another. So there's number 3. That is the new tippy top of our peak. Now we're going to work down the mountain. And I promise I'm going to explain these stitches for those that are trying to figure this out. Okay, so the first one out, we need a half double crochet. Now we're going to make a bobble stitch. So into this first stitch here, excuse me guys, I'm a little stuffed up this morning. We're going to make like we're going to do a double crochet. So we yarn over, go down into that first stitch, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're going to just hold this. We are not going to finish this stitch. Into the neck, into the same stitch, we need to do another one. So make like you're going to do a double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. Now we need a third one. Yarn over into that same space, grab up a loop, pull through 2, again holding. So there's 1, 2, 3. This is the original starting loop. Now we need number 4. We need a total of 5 of these. Into that space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. Here is number 5, the last one. This gets a little squished. Don't fret, just kind of make it work. Pull through 2, again holding. And now we can count these. This is the original starting loop we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So once we have all 5 of them, now what I kind of do is I hold my middle finger here on the back. I put my thumb here and I kind of squish these. I'm holding this to stabilize these stitches from wiggling around. I just found that works better for me. Now I yarn over and I have to pull through all these loops in one fell swoop. Okay, when you do that, you can see it kind of squishes them up and it puts the texture out the back. Okay, there's a bobble stitch. Now into this next, we need a half double crochet. And then into the next, again, a half double crochet. So we put these half double crochets in between the bobbles because that helps set apart the bobbles. It really makes them show out. Okay, that's why you put these little spaces in here with these half doubles. Okay, now we're ready for another bobble stitch. So again, make like you're going to do a double crochet. It's as easy as that. Grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, holding. Now we do it again. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. Into this stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, again holding. Here's number 3, yarn over, put it through, grab that loop, pull it up, yarn over, pull through two, hold. Here's number 4, right back down to that same stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, hold. Yarn over, here's number 5, last one, pull up a loop, pull through two again, and now we're just going to hold for a minute, I'll tell you. So we have our original starting. Now you can count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also count them on the row below here if you get a little confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have to yarn over and pull through all of these. That's how you finish the bobble stitch. I put my middle finger here on the back. I kind of hold this with my thumb here and I give it a little squish. Not super tight, but I apply some pressure. That helps keep these from wiggling around. Yarn over, pull through all the stitches, all the loops. And see how that squished it up? Almost looks like a little basket almost. And it pushes the texture out the back of the project. Now we need our little definition stitches here. So again, we need half double number 2. Now we're ready again for another bobble stitch. So we got to make like we're going to do a double crochet right down in that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, don't finish, just holding. Wrap your yarn around. Here's number 2, grab that loop, pull it up, yarn over, pull through two, holding. Here's number 3, grab that loop, yarn over, pull through two, holding. Yarn over, right back down in, pull up that loop, pull through two. And if you lose count, you could count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need number 5. Okay, last one. Does get a little full. Your hook will get a little full, but just try to make it work. If they slide off, you can redo them. So now we have our starting loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm going to hold this, yarn over, and pull through all of them. There's our little bobble. Now we need our 2 half doubles. I really like making bobble stitches. They're just happy little stitches. I don't know why. I think some people feel intimidated by them. But I don't know. For me, they're just really kind of happy, fun stitches. They add such great texture to a project. I don't know. Do people like the bobble stitch, or is that just me that's a weirdo that likes the little bobble stitch? And look how happy they are. They're like little bouncing basketballs. They're so adorable. I love them. But I'm the girl that gets geeked out by crochet. So, what are you going to do? Okay, so we did our little half double. Here we are back down in the valley. So here's a mountaintop. Here's the mountaintop we just did with our little bobbles. So in the valley here, we have to put 3 half double crochets together. So what we're going to do is, see these 3 stitches here? 1, 2, 3. We're going to squish them all up with half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, go down into that first stitch, grab up a loop. Now, if you're going to finish this half double crochet, you would yarn over and pull through all 3. We're not going to do that. We're just going to hold. Then we're going to move to this next stitch and do the exact same thing. Yarn over, right down into that next stitch, grab up that loop, and again, we're going to hold. And then this is the third stitch. We're going to yarn over, go down underneath those bars, grab up a loop. There's number 3. So now when you have all of these on your hook, you're going to yarn over and carefully pull through all of those loops. See how it squishes them up? That now becomes the bottom of your valley. And then we're ready to head back up to the top of the mountain. First stitch out, we need a half double crochet. Now into the next one, we need a bobble stitch. So we're going to make like we're going to do a double crochet, yarn over, pull through two. Now, if I was going to finish this double crochet, I'd yarn over and pull through the last two. We're not going to do that. We're just going to hold. Then we have to do it again. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. Yarn over, right back down into that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, and hold. 1, 2, we need 3 more. Here's number 3. Grab up that loop, yarn over, pull through two, again holding. Yarn over, right back down, grab that loop up, yarn over, pull through two. There's number 4. You can count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need 1 more. Here's number 5. So again, this is a bobble stitch. Yarn over and pull through two. So now we have our original loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put my fingers here. I kind of hold with the back here, my thumb here, kind of give it a squish. Yarn over and pull through all of those stitches. See how they squished up and made like a little basket? They put the little texture out the back. So, so adorable. Okay, here's our next one. We need to do 2 half double crochets. So half double, half double. When we do these half doubles, what it does is it puts space in between these bobble stitches. So if we look here, this is where we did the half doubles. If we didn't put those half doubles in here, these puffs or these bobble stitches would all run together. So part of what makes them really beautiful in texture is you've got to have those spaces in between. So we did 2. Now we're ready for another bobble stitch. So again, we're going to yarn over, go down into that hole, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two. Again, don't finish, just holding. We need to do 5 of these. Here's number 2. Yarn over, pull through two. Again, holding. Is Mama Wheeler leaving? Bye, Mom. Have a good day. Love you. I'll talk to you on Sunday. My mom's always out and about down in Florida. Now they have an hour time difference. When they were in Arizona, it was easier because it was later. So right now in Arizona, it's almost 8 o'clock. Here in Alabama, it's only 7 o'clock. Oh wait, did I do all those? Hang on, I gotta recount this. I wasn't 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I did all 5. Um, and when Mama Wheeler and Papa Wheeler were in Arizona, there was a 2 hour time difference. So they weren't ready to go out shopping and, all of the things that retirees do. And so, anyhow, now that they're in Florida, their schedule's a little different. No, they have a house in each place, Macy. So they have a place in Arizona, and then they I think 2 years ago they were renting a condo in Florida every year, and they'd go for a month or so and just stay down in Florida. And then finally they're like, we should just buy a condo. So they bought a condo. They're down by Pompano Beach is kind of the area that they're at. And so now instead of renting a condo every year, they kind of split their time. So where they're at in Arizona is where I grew up. It's called Prescott, Arizona. For those that are familiar, the elevation is 6,000 feet, and so it gets snow and stuff. And it's really, I don't know, not ideal for, as you get older with joint pain and all those kind of things that people just get. And so, anyhow, it's nicer for them to be down in the warmth of Florida when it's really cold in Arizona. And so it just made a lot of sense. They love it down in Florida. So, yeah, basically they're like snowbirds now. And I think it's cool because they go back and forth, right? So they drove from Arizona down to Florida, and then on the way they stopped off and saw me, so they stayed for like 4 days or something. Now in the spring, when they're done with their Florida and they're headed back to Arizona, they'll stay with us here in Alabama again. So it makes it so that I get to see them twice a year, in person. It's not that far off their travels to see us here in Alabama. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to have joint pain badly. Yeah, for sure. The cold weather. I know a lot of you guys live in the cold weather, but for me, with my rheumatoid arthritis, if I get a cold like snap or something that comes through, oh, I feel it. It really flares up my RA pretty bad. And there's times where it just makes it so miserable. The only way I can kind of get out of the like feeling of it is I just have to go get in a hot bathtub. That's the only way I can like get it kind of freed up and moving again, because it really um, it's really hard when it cold snap comes through. Um, I was trying to practice for the Olympics. Yeah. How are you doing, Texas Whiskey? Uh, she was doing house Olympics and hurt herself. It's Yeah, it's you got to be careful. I don't know. I just, as I've gotten older, sometimes it's like the things you do in your 20s, in your 40s, you don't do those things anymore. So it goes with the territory. But I know a lot of you on here are not in the same age bracket as me, and so see what you have to look forward to. Too funny, but anyhow, I hope everybody's having a good day. So for those that are just hopping on, and who don't know me, if you're a new follower, thank you. I'm glad that you found us this morning. We have a fabulous little group of crocheters and friends here, and we just come together every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings, and I do some crocheting, and we all chat and tease each other and have fun and share what our projects are and everything. So we have a marvelous little group. Anytime I come live, and my name is April, if you don't know who I am, and I live in Northeast Alabama. I'm just a hobby crocheter. I have a real job, but I love to crochet. I've been crocheting for 40 years. I'm not an expert crocheter. I consider myself maybe like an intermediate crocheter. I learn stuff every day with crochet. I just love it. It's my favorite hobby. I do a lot of different type of stuff. We have some chickens here, and we kind of are living in the country. We moved from Arizona about 4 years ago, but that's another whole story. And so, anyhow, I am live streaming this morning, both on TikTok and over on YouTube. And anyhow, if you're a new follower, welcome, welcome. And on the link tree, whenever I come live, I put everything that I'm working on the link tree. So there's the yarn that I'm using, the pattern, and all of the details. So if it's Dark 30 where you're at, and you don't want to be scrambling and taking notes, but you like the things that I'm working on, you can just give a follow and then go back later and look at the link tree and get all that information. There's also a link on the link tree for the Discord. Uh, my name is hi April. My name is Colsum as Nanny. Oh, thank you. Good morning, Nanny. Good morning. Um, so anyhow, you guys can feel free to check out the link tree. What am I doing? I'm messing up here. Um, and check out those patterns and stuff that we're working on. But also on the link tree is the link to the Discord, and you guys see Macy here on the feed. Macy, give a little wave. Macy helps to moderate our Discord for us, and if you're not familiar with what Discord is, it is a chat server. It's used a lot of times in online gaming, but anyhow, we made like a little crochet chat server. So if you want to get on there with our friends here and share your works in progress, if you have questions, if you need help with stitches or anything, anyhow, Macy's here and she helps to moderate that. She's a lot of fun and she does a great job for us over there on Discord. Since I do need some help. We have some great helpers for me. So Anvil and Gen X help to moderate the TikTok, and I really, really appreciate everything that they do for me here. It helps me keep crocheting, as we're talking, and Texas Whiskey helps to moderate the floor. For those that don't know what Texas Whiskey is talking about, she had a spill at her house and anyhow hurt herself. And anyhow, I know she's making light of it, but it's unfortunate. She really hurt herself. So I'm glad you're in good spirits, Texas Whiskey, but I'm sure you're hurting. So I hope they get you fixed up soon. Anyhow, So yeah, it's a fun little group. So feel free to hop over on the Discord if you guys want even more crochet, funny and nonsense 24/7. But the pattern that I'm working on today, we'll slow this down a little bit and kind of run through what we're doing. This is the Hugs and Kisses chevron blanket. Now, this was originally intended to be a baby blanket, but I really like this pattern. I've made it a number of times for baby blankets. And as fall kind of started here in Alabama, it gets a little chillier. And I start thinking about holidays and I start thinking about Christmas. And, I've never had a Christmas throw blanket for the back of my couch. After all these years of crocheting, I've just never made myself one. And I thought to myself the other day, I said, I really want to make a Christmas blanket with red and green. And I thought, I bet the Hugs and Kisses blanket with the fun textures would look really cool in red, white, and green. And then I could just have it here on the back of the couch and be able to snuggle up with it. And so, anyhow, that's where this idea was born. But this is a free pattern. This is not my pattern. This was a pattern by the Crochet Crowd. And I'm a big fan of Mikey over at the Crochet Crowd. This pattern was actually designed by his assistant, Jeannie, and Jeannie has now retired. But this is one of, I would say, her more famous patterns that she's done. Lots and lots of people have made it. Honestly, there's probably people on the live here that have made this blanket. It works up great. I've seen it in so many different colors. And I just thought, hey, why not make a Christmas blanket out of it? Doesn't have to be for baby. And so it is a repeating pattern, and you're able to increase the stitch multiple. So this is the little diagram I'm following, but basically the stitch multiple is 28 plus 18. What that means, for whatever size you want to make your blanket, you chain up 28 and you do a little mental test and you say, is this big enough or not, or too small? If the answer is big enough, you stop and then you would add 18. If it's not big enough, then you crochet another 28 chains. Ask yourself again at the end of that 28, am I good? Is this big enough? Do I want bigger? Yes or no? If it's big enough, then you would add the 18. If it's not, crochet another 28 chains. So you just keep building. And I don't remember my starting chain. Anvil remembers more than I do, but I'm going to have a total of 8 of these little chevrons. So this little section right here is the chevron where it goes up and down. And that's basically what we're working on here. So you can kind of see the fun texture, but it is working up and down. So I have my little peaks and valleys, and here's a little mountaintop. Here's my little valley. So I'm working down the mountain right now. And let me work my way down to the valley, and then I'll explain some more about the stitches. 242 foundation change. Thank you, Anvil. See, I swear these gals, they know more about what the heck I'm doing than I do most times. I'm just here to ramble and tell stories. They know the technical stuff. Do you know how many to chain for a baby blanket? So when you guys download this pattern or go look at it on the link tree, um, it tells you my printer ran out of ink. This is what it looks like here. This is Jeannie with her grandbaby. Isn't that sweet? And here's the little blanket that she made. Now, this page right here normally has a whole bunch of text written on it. My printer didn't print it, okay? But oh, I did write it down. 240. It tells you if you're using this weight yarn, do this many for a baby size. If you're doing this weight. So seriously, like go look at the pattern because it is the easiest pattern for whatever you're creating, and it works really good. Yeah, rest in peace, printer. I did order more ink for the printer. I just have not put it in there yet. I've got too much stuff going on, priorities. So next time I need to print something out, I'm gonna be like, oh dang, I need to load the printer. But anyhow, this is a very well done pattern. Like I said, it's been made so many times by so many different people for so many different babies, or around the house blankets, or just whatever. It's a really one wonderful pattern. It's so much fun to make. So I'm going to keep working here down the valley. And then when I get down to the valley, I'm going to walk through these stitches again for those that are just coming on. And we can go through these again, and I will talk through how to make this bobble stitch, because I think the bobble stitch is probably something that most new crocheters find pretty daunting. But I think hopefully the way that I explain it, you won't feel so overwhelmed, and you'll be able to see that you too can make this stitch. You know, I was really scared for this stitch for a long time, but then I watched Mikey do it, and I did link his tutorial, guys, for the crochet crowd of this. He does a great tutorial of this, so save it to your favorites list over on YouTube. Go back and watch it when you're ready, but it is a really fun pattern to do. Okay, so for those that are just joining and want to know how to do this, we're down here at the valley. Okay, so here's the top of our mountain. And sorry guys, when I crochet, I'm a little sideways, but that's the only way I can get it to work for the camera. So here's the top of the mountain over here, and here's our little valley, okay? If we kind of turn our work to the side here, you can see the top of these 3 stitches. See how there's the little 2 bars? What we have to do for the bottom of the valley is we're going to do 3 together half double crochets. So it sounds worse than it is. Uh, just watch and you'll see it's really easy. So we yarn over, we go down into the first stitch, grab up a loop. Now, if you were doing a half double crochet, you would yarn over and pull through all the 3 of those. We're not going to do that. We're just going to hold that. Now we're going to go to the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, go down into the next stitch, grab up a loop, again, holding. Now here's number 3. Yarn over, go down into that stitch, grab a loop up. Now we have all 3. Now what we have to do is yarn over, and we're going to put our hook through all of those little loops. See how it squishes it up? That is your 3 together half double crochet. So sounds crazy complicated. It's really not. And when you squish them all together like that, that is what helps to form these little valleys, because it went, okay? Now we're going to move up the mountain. Okay, so here's our little tippy top up here. As we work up the mountain, we're going to place bobble stitches with half double crochets in between. So for the first stitch here, we need a half double crochet. Now for the next stitch, we need a bobble stitch. And the way you do a bobble stitch, it's like you're going to make a double crochet. So we yarn over, go down into this stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, if we're going to finish this, we would yarn over and pull through 2. We're not going to finish it. We're just going to hold. That's our first stitch of our bobble stitch. We need a total of 5. So we're going to yarn over, right down into that stitch, grab up a loop, the same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, again, hold. Um, uh, Murph, I don't know what the exact finish size is going to be. Sometimes these things are a surprise, you know. Thank you guys all for the goal hitting over on TikTok. Appreciate that. So you know, sometimes it'll be like a surprise, right? And that's okay. Um, I surprises are good, right? So we'll see, but I would like it to be like, I don't know, maybe like 60 by, or maybe like 50 by, I don't know, 70 maybe. We'll see. You know, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants sometimes with that, you know, just to see how it turns out. I kind of will just crochet, but right now, if we measure this, we can measure it. I've got my little tape measure here somewhere. Where did it go? So let's see how wide this is, because now you got me curious. Yeah, it's gonna be like a throw blanket. So I don't want it too big. I mean, you could make this like bedspread size, but let's just halfway kind of measure this here and see how much we have. It's pretty big. It's not huge though. Am I gonna run out of tape measure? It's definitely enough to cover me. So it's about 58 inches. So that's a good size for a throw blanket, I feel like, right? An oversized throw, it sounds like. Yeah. So it's not bad. I mean, like I said, you could really make this any size that you want. You just have to do the little stitch increments. I didn't measure this when I did it. I just Jeannie and Mikey had made on the pattern if you wanted a throw blanket to do 242 chains, and so that's what I did. I didn't really even measure it or anything. I just went with it. So I think it's a good size. Yeah, I think he calls it a sofa throw. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I could cry making that big one. I'm addicted to baby blankets now. I know, girl. That's why I like making. Oh, my stitch came out. Um, that's why I like making baby blankets because they're small and I can move on to the next project. So I don't have a very big this blanket might not get finished until next Christmas, guys. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? Dang, I just lost another stitch. Okay, hang on. I got to get these stitches under control because I'm losing them. I lost them while I was measuring. I got to redo some stuff here. It happens, right? Oh, that has to wait. Where am I at? Oh, Lordy, I lost my bobble stitch. I got to make another bobble. Bobbling it up over here. So anyhow, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, will this be ready for this Christmas? Maybe not. That's okay. My projects sometimes take a long time. So it happens, right? I when you're doing big blankets, uh, if I was able to finish them all right away and fast, um, I don't know. For me, that's part of the journey, right? Being able to work on the blankets, and I come back to them. I have different. I started a new baby blanket last night because I already got a bunch of projects going. But what do you think of these new stitches? Do you see them? I just started crocheting stitches together. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. I'm excited. This is that's where I weaved in my little tail. Anyhow, I started this one last night. I get bored really easy. I got to start new projects. But this stitch, maybe I'll work on this next week with you guys. It's half double, but this new stitch that I learned right here, this stitch right here, I really am digging it. It might be like one of my new favoriteest stitches. It's really cool. I'll show you guys how to do it on this blanket. Wait, hang on, because I know you want to see. So when you're that stitch that I'm doing, instead of a single crochet, because when I go back and forth with the rows, right, you do a single crochet. So pretend I'm doing my single crochet row. Instead of doing my single crochet, you do a half double. So I wrap my yarn around, I go down in that stitch, grab up a loop, but instead of doing it like this and yarning over, you put this loop underneath these two. I'm going to do another one. It's so cool. I love it. I love it so much. And I figured out how to do it really fast. I'm doing it slow right now. This is not part of this blanket. This is the new stitch that I learned. It's really cool. Doesn't my hands look cool when I do it too? I was like last night I was like mesmerized with myself. I was like, "Oh my god, that is so cool." Because what you want to do with it is go like this and it made it like harder. But I figured out when you go like backwards, turn your hook backwards. So look, when I put it to the other side, isn't that the neatest thing? See how it puts that little loop there? Isn't that so much cooler than a single crochet? Oh my gosh, I was geeking out last night. I'm still geeking out. I'll work on that blanket next week. We'll do that on the live. It's a really easy stitch. Like I said, I just started putting stitches together last night because I don't know. I already have so many. I don't know what that stitch is called, Hannah and Betty. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, here, I'll do some more of them. You guys can see it. It's you yarn over, I couldn't find it. I looked and looked and looked, and I could not find what this stitch is called. So you pull it up like you're going to do a half double, but instead of doing a half double, you have to pull through these two. And when I went to go pull through these two like this, my yarn kept sliding off my hook. So what I figured out last night is if I go like this and pull up my loop, if you pull your hook backwards like that, it slides right under so smooth. I'll do another one. And I can make them really fast. Isn't that the coolest thing? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. And I can make them fast too. Look how fast I can do them. It's so much fun. It's so much better than a single crochet, and it puts that ridge of texture on there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this new stitch. Like I said, sorry guys, for those that are just coming on, this literally has nothing to do with this blanket. But look how it looks. Can you see that little like holy crap, it's amazing. It's so awesome. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That would look cool. Yeah. Half double slip stitch. Thank you, Texas Whiskey's on her game, guys. Hurt and all. Yeah, it's totally mesmerizing, Sarah. I was geeking out by myself last night. My husband's sitting next to me, and I'm over here in my chair going, "Oh my god, that's so cool! That's so cool!" And he's like ignoring me, and I'm like, "How can he not even ask what I'm talking about?" But I think he tunes me out with my crochet when I get like excited about something, you know. And I know I shouldn't be that excited about a stitch, but like seriously. And so anyhow, it's on this. So instead of doing a single crochet, basically this is a half double crochet. Normally I would do a single crochet. I did that stitch. Then I did crossed half doubles, and then I did that stitch instead of the single crochet half doubles. That's what I think this would look really cool like as a scarf, right? Like as a, oh sorry YouTubers, I was not having it in frame. I just think it would look really pretty as a scarf. And there's my edge. You can see it's pretty flat. So yeah, anyhow, that's what I was playing with last night. And I was yeah, poor guy sitting there like there she goes. Honestly, Macy, he was on his phone looking up car parts, so truck parts. I was good, but I know I probably sounded like a complete fool over here. Because I was really getting excited about this stitch. You get in your 40s and you're like a dork that gets excited about crochet stitches. It's like me with my bird watching. There's this little meme where it's like you get to a certain age and all of a sudden you're like, there's a yellow rumped warbler or something, and it's like you've known nothing about birds your entire life, and then all of a sudden you become this bird fanatic. That's me also. So new crochet stitches, bird information, all of the above. Yeah, I get geeked out by that stuff. It's so crazy. Anvil said, hubby just waits to see finished projects. Yeah. I showed him the little elephant the other day. Did everybody get to see my elephant that I did? Did anybody not see the elephant? It turned out so cute. I'm really happy with it. I've got to make a video of the yellow elephant pattern. Maybe I could show it again. Here's the elephant. So this is sorry, I'm not very working on the so you guys saw me do this edging on the live, right? I need to make a tutorial of this still. This little shell edging turned out really cute. Here's the corner. So this little mama, she loves elephants. And this is the little elephant that I made. See his little trunk goes up. It's like can you see it's like dimensional? Sorry, YouTubers. And I kind of tacked it on there, but he's got his cute little ears, his little mouth. I love him. He is so adorable. So I got to get him photographed and packaged up and mailed off. But yeah, he's really cute. This elephant is by Craft and Crochet. There is a link on the link tree if you need to make an elephant. But I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a cute baby blanket. It turned out so good. I'm so happy with it. So I just watched I don't know the gal's name at Craft and Crochet. I wish I knew her name, but she never tells her name that I have seen. But her stuff that she does for baby blankets and baby stuff, like seriously, if you need baby blanket inspiration, I know not everybody's into baby stuff like I am. I don't even have any kids, but I love making baby blankets. They're my favorite thing. And anyhow, she has just some beautiful, amazing work. But her name is Craft and Crochet over on YouTube, and I really, really love her stuff. So, anyhow, check her out. But that's where I learned how to do the elephant pattern from, is by her tutorial. Her appliques are really cute. She has a little bear. The little giraffe she has is really cute, and I haven't had an opportunity yet to make a giraffe, but the giraffe I think is super adorable. So let's see. Mason said, I don't have kids either, but baby blankets are fun. Yeah. I want to make baby blankets for the local pregnancy care center. That would be so nice, Annika. So I make a lot of baby blankets. My sister-in-law is a NICU nurse in Pensacola. I know a lot of you guys have heard this before, but for those that haven't, so I use that as an outlet for my baby blankets because I love making them. I like them because they're small, they're cute, they're fun colors. I can finish it, I can donate it, and I move on. And so they're really a great creative outlet for me to be able to do these fun little projects without bombarding my family with a bunch of crochet crap that they don't need. And there's only so much that I need around my house. And so they have a blanket program down there in Pensacola. And when my sister-in-law comes through around the holidays, I think she's going to come around Thanksgiving. I'm just going to give her all of the blankets, and she will take them down. To the NICU for their blanket program, and they'll give them out around the holidays and stuff to the families that are there with their babies. And so I feel like it's a great cause, and if it can brighten somebody's day, and it allows me to keep, you know, uh, doing baby blankets and keep. eh, For me, crochet is therapeutic, right? It's like my little, when I sit down and crochet, everything in the world goes away. I don't think about the bills. I don't think about, the yard that needs mowed or the bird feeders that need filled or my actual job, my real job, right? I don't think about any of that. It just all flies out the window. And so for me, crochet is, um, almost therapeutic. And I'm sure a lot of people, it's that for them as well. And so it's just very relaxing. So I want to be able to keep creating stuff and making stuff, but I need to have an outlet for it. So that's kind of why I like to do the baby blankets and stuff. But I did find a new outlet for wheelchair blankets, and I do have one in the works right now. And also, so wheelchair blankets are only 35 by 45 is the recommended size. So they're small, like baby blankets as well. And I think that'll be a nice little outlet for me to be able to donate some blankets that way and be able to work on different patterns and stitches and whatnot, and um, be able to keep creating basically. Uh, yeah, my bird feeder camera quit. The new one came yesterday, so hopefully I'll have my bird feeders back streaming live on YouTube for those that are wondering about my bird feeders. Um, okay, so I missed, somebody may was making a comment here. Yeah, I make amigurumis too. I really enjoy amigurumis, but it's one of those things, I don't do them all the time. It's So, Texas whiskey, my bird feeder camera, it is not working right now. I had to order a new one, and I got a whole new brand, so I've got to get that whole feed set back up. But hopefully, I'll have my bird feeders back streaming live here soon. So, running reviews said, "Did you just do a bobble stitch for the corner?" So I'm not sure how I'm gonna doing on time, but I'm gonna run through these stitches. Okay, so I'm working on the back of the work right now. And this is the top of the mountain. And then I'm coming down to the valley, and then here's the new top of the mountain. So I'm just going to kind of talk my way through these stitches for those that are just hopping on. Janek said it's 8:23. So at 8:30, I've got about 7 minutes to keep crocheting here. And I'm just going to, I'm going to work until I get to the top of the mountain here. So I'm going to talk about these stitches. You guys can talk amongst yourself, but I know we've got some questions from some people. So as you're going down the mountain or up the mountain, we have four bobble stitches. In between those bobbles, we put half double crochets. So I'm back here down to the valley. I just finished my last bobble. I need a half double crochet. Now, when you're to the bottom of the valley, you can kind of turn your work here and you can see there's 1, 2, 3 stitches here. We need to do 3 half doubles together. Now, I know that sounds really complicated and overwhelming, but it's not. So here's how we do it. We wrap our yarn around, go down into that first stitch, grab up a loop. Now, instead of finishing this half double, we just hold that stitch. Don't finish it. Wrap our yarn around. Here's our next stitch. Go right down underneath, grab that loop. Again, that's number 2. Do not finish. Here's number 3. Wrap our yarn around, right down into stitch number 3. Grab up that loop. Again, there's all of our stitches. So here's our starting loop. Here's the 2 from the first. Here's the 2 from the second. Here's the 2 from the third. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches. That squishes them all together. That makes our new valley. So that's the very bottom of our, here's our peak up here, here's our peak up here, and this is our little valley. Now the next stitch out, we need again a half double crochet. Now we're going to do a bobble stitch here. So in order to do a bobble, again, this sounds very complicated, but it's not. It's, you make like you're going to do double crochet. So I wrap my yarn around, go down into that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now don't finish, just keep holding this. Yarn over, here's number 2, right down into that, grab a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2 and hold. So we need a total of 5 of these. So that's number 2. Here's number 3. Pull through 2, again holding. Yarn over, right down into that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. That's 4. This is our last one. Okay, so now we have our starting loop. You can count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also see these stitches down below 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I kind of put my finger here on the back. I put my thumb here on the front and I kind of hold this. Now you don't have to do this. What I found is this helps me to stabilize these stitches so they're not wiggling around as I'm trying to, pull my yarn through. So I yarn over and I pull through all of those loops. That squishes those together. See how it kind of looks like a little bowl? And then it pushes all the texture out to the back of the blanket. So that little bobble stitch is done. Now in between our bobbles, we need 2 half doubles. So here's a half double. Into the next stitch here, we need another half double. Now we're ready for another bobble stitch. So we're going to yarn over into this last stitch. We're going to grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, just holding. Wow, 18.9 thousand likes over on TikTok. You all are rock stars. Thank you, everyone, so much for tapping your screens this morning. I hope you've enjoyed the live. I hope you've enjoyed this week so far with me on crocheting. Today is my last day of crocheting, but I'll be back next week. Do not fear. I will be back and we'll have more fun projects to work on. But I hope everybody's having a great, great week. And I just wanted to get that out before everybody starts hopping off as I get ready to end my crochet, and I got to get back to reality here. I got to go to work. So here, another bobble stitch, okay? Yarn over, right down into that hole, grab a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, hold. Annika, I come on 7 to 8:30 Central Time. I'm in Northeast Alabama. And so 7 to 9 Central, 7 to 8:30 Central Time. I used to come on more, but daylight savings time kind of screwed everything up. So I work remote in Arizona, and I have to be at work at 9 o'clock Alabama time is 8 o'clock Arizona time. And so, anyhow, when we get back off of daylight savings time, we'll go back to a 2 hours difference, and then I'll have more time to crochet in the morning. But for now, everything is kind of 7 to 8:30 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I always make a live schedule as well. You can look ahead and see what I'm going to be working on. And for those that don't know, I'm live streaming this morning both on TikTok and on YouTube. And later on, you can find all these videos on YouTube. They usually take 24 to 48 hours for everything to kind of sync up and for me to release them back out as videos. But I've only been live streaming on YouTube for, I guess, a couple weeks now. So, anyhow, Texas whiskey, feel better. Annika, thank you, thank you. She said, thank you for sharing. Uh, Anything you share is awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, guys, I'm just a household crocheter. This is not my career. I just love to crochet, and I love visiting with all of you. If I wasn't visiting with all of you, I'd be sitting here crocheting by myself. So, thank you for the fellowship. Thank you for everybody who's over on the Discord sharing your projects and everything. And I hope you guys all have a good week. I'm going to be signing off here in just a minute. But seriously, thank you guys all for the support. I would be nothing without you guys. You guys are what makes me come back and keep doing this. So, thank you for being kind to each other this week and supporting each other. And thank you for all of your support and love of me and my channel and of my mom. I appreciate you all loving my Mama Wheeler. So thank you guys all so much. Have a fabulous week and weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.